Matt's story is the next story I'm going to tell. So Matt's another one of our buyer's agents out of our Melbourne office, and his story behind the numbers relates to a couple who are in their early 30s. They're based down in Geelong, and they timed their owner-occupied purchase really well down in Geelong, where they've seen some incredible growth over the course of the last couple of years. What has that allowed them to do? It's released a lot of equity for them. And so they have a young child as well. And what happens when you start to have family, you start to think about all the important things. You start to get a little bit more serious about life, and you want to start to think like a grown-up does. And what they do is, how am I going to provide for my family over the future? And they decided that property investment was going to be their thing. So Matt had a brief of around $550,000, and we were looking for sort of growth targets around that 6.5%, with a yield story of around 4%. Where do we go shopping? So we went shopping, in this particular case, up in Brisbane, in a suburb called Aspley. Now, this is a very interesting story, right? I always love some of the unique sort of backstories of the vendors. And so a good buyer's agent is always going to get a lot of the backstory, the motivator of the vendor, why are they selling, what's the story? And here's how this story plays out. The vendor is 96 years old. Her husband, who had passed, actually built this double-story brick home himself. Beautifully built home, pristinely presented property, but in an original condition. So we are talking about the bathrooms being sort of 70s bathrooms, kitchens, but spotless. Absolutely beautifully presented property, which when it came to market, considering the median in Aspley is sitting at around $600,000, we bought this property under competition. How much competition are you thinking? Well, here it was. There were 18 offers on this property, 18 offers. And we were able to secure it for our client with a view that we were going to do some little touch-ups on the property. So we set aside a budget of between sort of $15,000 to $17,000, and we're going to take up the old carpets, because underneath are beautiful hardwood floors. We're going to polish those floors up. We're going to give it a spruce up. We're not going to change the bathroom. Everything was so well maintained that instead of ripping up the old bathroom, we're going to put that special coat of paint on it that just freshens it up. So it's going to make the bathroom look nice, clean and white, but it doesn't necessarily mean ripping out the old tiles, the old bathtub. Everything is in good working order. A couple of new taps and we're away. So that is a really, really good story. How do we win the property? It's always down to great negotiating and best terms. So we think we got in there because we had a cash offer. You know, no clauses. We'd lined up our lending through Sarah in our team, and that allowed us to strike when other people might have said subject to finance or some other conditions around that. So that property settles this month. We're doing those renovation works, and we'll get a tenant into that property. And that property, given how well it's been built, will be standing well beyond my years and will allow the couple to be able to get some great tenants into that property. Beautiful, good sized block of land, a fantastic property that's sitting on that. So check it out in this video. You can see the links in terms of, but you can see what I mean about in original condition. But just look at how spotless it was. It's just an incredible property. So well done, Matt. Great buy, and I'm sure those clients will be thrilled to put that property into their portfolio.